Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, where today we're going to be talking about Champions League football, and more precisely, the second leg of the quarterfinals, PSG versus Bayern Munich. Now, to give a bit of context, PSG have won the first leg away in Munich, 3-2, Kylian Mbappe 2 goals, Marquinhos a goal as well, and Bayern Munich had a Choupo-Moting goal and a Müller goal. Now, this video won't really be giving a preview about the game, but more sort of looking at what consequences this game could have for PSG. And for me, thinking about it, well, I think this is probably PSG's biggest game, if not just this season, but probably for their short to long-term history. Now, I've got 4 big points as to why I think this is PSG's probably the biggest game for their short and long-term history. The first one being, if they win this game, I think they'll finally be taken seriously by the whole of European football. They'll finally be able to show who's boss. Now, I'm saying this because they beat Bayern, who are, of course, title holders, heavy favourites coming into the tie, even coming into the competition. And for PSG to beat Bayern, it would send a message to other European clubs, even to City or Dortmund in the semi-finals. For me, it kind of doesn't really matter if they lose in the semis or lose in the final. If they do beat Bayern, that's a bigger enough message to send to all other big European clubs, saying, hey, look at us, we've been the reigning champions, we're not pushovers anymore. And I think if they do knock out Bayern tomorrow, it will be a huge message being sent to all their European rivals. Now, my second point is to show progression for Neymar and Mbappe. Now, of course, last year they went to the final, for sure, but it was a bit of a weird one because of the COVID, final 8, only one leg, so of course it's still a Champions League final, still a title, but personally I feel it doesn't gain as much weight as knocking out Bayern in the quarterfinals this year over 2 legs. So I think to Neymar and Mbappe, who, let's not forget, both need to re-sign contracts. Neymar needs to re-sign a contract this year, and Mbappe as well, I'm not sure, but if it's not this year, it's next. So if they do beat Bayern, go to the semis, contractually, it will play a big part for Mbappe and Neymar. Now, we know Mbappe's had a big performance, of course, in the last leg. If he has another big one tomorrow, maybe he'll want to stay at PSG. Who knows? But if they do get knocked out, it's going to put a lot of question marks for the rest of the season, especially if they don't win Liga. So that's, this game tomorrow is, for me, maybe even going to decide the fate of Mbappe and Neymar to a certain extent. Even though, Neymar seems to be kind of locked in for PSG. But, the Barcelona saga isn't completely over. A couple of rumours have started up again. So beating Bayern in the quarterfinal, I think, would put a big step forward for the PSG management to get Neymar and Mbappe on new deals. Now, maybe it's not enough, granted, maybe they do want another final, but I think definitely beating Bayern is gonna get a big deal in that way, because if they do lose tomorrow and get knocked out, and if that makes them lose Mbappe and Neymar, well, can't think about the repercussions of that. The third point is to give fans hope. Now, of course, PSG fans are, spoilt in a way. Well, I'm saying this because, of course, I support Saint-Etienne and I'm probably not very spoilt. But spoiled as in, a lot of success, etc. But, knowing the amount of PSG fans, I know that they really only care about the Champions League. And last year was hopeful, don't get me wrong, but maybe for them it was very good, going to the Champions League final, shows progression, but I think this year we'll see the real progression of PSG if they can beat Bayern. I'm not saying Leipzig and Atalanta weren't worthy opponents, but it's not the same thing, though, is it? So I think beating Bayern this year would be much more of a statement than going to the final last year. So it would give fans hope in the way that I think the club is sort of going in the right direction if they can at least beat Bayern, who are seen as like this unbeatable team. So it will definitely give hope to fans. For the semi-final, if it's against City, maybe they shouldn't even be scared because I wrote it was saying Bayern's the worst. If you knock them out, why be scared of City, who we know have certain frailties? And the final point, it will be for PSG probably their biggest win in Champions League ever. I'm not going to lie, I don't know PSG's history that well, but at least in recent history under the Qatari era, beating Bayern in this quarterfinal would be their biggest ever achievement. Now, of course, it was going to the final last year, but I think, personally for me, last year I predicted they would go to the final, so it wasn't much of a surprise to me, if you want. But seeing them beat Bayern in this quarterfinal would be much more of a surprise to me, and would be their biggest result over 2 legs. Defeating Bayern is huge, so it would write a whole new page in the PSG history books, really giving a lot of weight to this game. Now, of course, this is why I think it's so important for PSG, and for Bayern too in a way. But I'm really excited to go see this game. I'd like to know you guys' opinions down below in the comments. Do you guys think it's that important to PSG as well, or am I just being a bit over dramatic? We'll see. And for everyone else, thanks for watching. There are some new videos coming soon, don't worry, and I'll see you guys next time.